Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
In a season saturated with home runs, it's sheer size and strength that separates these two mashers from the rest. And this ball smacked high and deep to center field. It is gone.
There it goes. Oh my goodness, what a shot by Aaron Judge.
At 6'5" and 6'7", they are home run launching phenomenons. Tonight, two masters of the moonshot take center stage. Welcome to Rangers baseball presented by AT&T. A lot of sunshine on a Friday night and a special evening here at Globe Life Park as we honored Adrian Beltre before the game, and now on to the proceedings. The Yankees and Rangers opening game in a big three-game series with postseason implications for both clubs inside 4 weeks to play. Yankees currently holding the top spot of the two wild cards, and the Rangers just 2.5 back of the final spot in this wild card chase. So a lot left to be decided here in these final weeks of the season, and it should be fun tonight. I'm Dave Raymond alongside Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve. And tonight, of course, the game meaningful. The outcome is going to be the key to this thing. But we also feature two of the greatest home run hitters in the game.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch both of these guys this year. From the Rangers' perspective, Joey Gallo has gotten better as the season's gone on. Everybody knows about his power. He's shown that to all fields. He showed it at the beginning of the year. But lately, he's improved by being more selective at the plate. He's walked 21 times in his last 20 games, and he's been hot. 16 home runs in his last 37 games, 37 on the season. Excellent season for Joey Gallo. Aaron Judge got off to a spectacular start. He had 30 home runs and was hitting .330 at the All-Star break. He's walked 105 times. When he walks one more time, he'll tie the all-time rookie record for walks. His second half has not been quite as good. He's actually hit below 200, but it doesn't take anything away from the spectacular season that Aaron Judge has had.
And so two great tests today in these lineups. And of course, there are other guys in these lineups as well who can hit the long ball. That makes for a really good test for Martin Perez and Masahiro Tanaka.
Yeah, and Martin is going to face a really good Yankee team who's been playing really well against left-handed pitching. But Martin is up to the task. In his last 6 starts, he's won all 6 with an ERA just a little bit above 3. He's done it by being more efficient, fewer pitches per inning, 2 or fewer walks in his last 9 out of 10 starts, and he's nullified left-hand hitters with a 190 average in his last 14 starts. He's on a really good roll, and so is Masahiro Tanaka. Early in the year, his pitches were up. He was giving a lot of home runs. Lately, he's cut that down. The key against Tanaka is to make sure he gets his split finger and his slider up. The Rangers weren't able to do that in the one start earlier in the year, 8 shutout innings he had at Yankee Stadium.
All right, so two very good pitchers, maybe pitching their best baseball of the season right now. Hey, another guy who's been pretty good lately for the Rangers. How about Robinson Chirinos? The run he has been on since the trade deadline, spectacular. And Emily Jones puts it in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is brought to you by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Adrian Beltre day turning into Adrian Beltre night here at Globe Life Park in Arlington as the Rangers and Yankees set to open a 3-game series here at the Globe, and it is a big series for this Texas Rangers team, and perhaps a guy that's come up pretty big, or I guess you could say on par with Elvis Andrus since the trade deadline, is the play of Robinson Chirinos. What he has done behind the plate and at the plate, nothing short of spectacular. We feature him in our Shiner Box Spotlight tonight. There you see the ranks among AL catchers in on-base percentage average and OPS, first and second in those spots since that Lucroy trade on July 30th. Spoke with Robinson about the work that he's put in. He said that he was putting in even more work when Lucroy was here because he wasn't getting the playing time. The video room was where he spent most of his time. He's tried to continue that trend, even though he now is, of course, getting the bulk of those starts behind the plate. And he says he's felt like he's developed such a good rapport with his pitchers, and they trust him to do that work and for him to call the game, not only that he feels is best, but one that they think will be best as well.
Well, he has been great, and all-round great job that he has done lately for this team. And no coincidence, the Rangers have played some of their better baseball in this second half and in the month of August, now leading into September, which figures to be the most crucial month of the year for this Rangers team. I hope that Robinson can continue his strong play. He'll be 9th in the order today. Jeff Bannister's team, after winning the series in Atlanta, now back home. This is now the penultimate homestand of the year. Just one left, the last week of the season. So if they are going to make some hay, figures, Tom, this would be a big homestand for them to get it done here.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Dave. And I think we say it often, in fact, almost every day. The next game is the most important game of the season. That's the way you have to look at it. You almost have to look at it that the playoff season has already started, because the Rangers are in a little bit of a hole. They're a couple of games behind a number of different teams, and they just can't afford losses. They have to go out every day and treat it like it's the last game of the year that they have to win, and do that for the rest of the season and see where you end when it's all over and done with.
Well, we've got a nice crowd here on a Friday night. A lot of them came out early as we honored Adrian Beltre on the field before the ball game today. That was very cool. Of course, a special moment that we all have been anticipating for a couple of weeks. All right, Martin Perez is taking the club out onto the field, and now moments away from getting this one started. The Yankees, let's take a look at their starting lineup. 75 wins, 64 losses. They have the first wild card spot. They're also in a division race still. Brett Gardner at the top spot, Aaron Judge, and Gary Sanchez, two of the great young players in the American League. Castro, Holiday, Didi Gregorius having another big year at shortstop. Chase Headley, Jacob Ellsbury, and then Todd Frazier, the third baseman traded over from the White Sox this year.
And we'll take a look at the Ford pitch arsenal for Martin Perez. See the pitches that he favors. He has a fastball around 93 miles an hour, throws it a lot, 58% of the time. He depends on good sinking action to get ground balls. More changeups now than maybe early in the year, 21%. He'll throw a curveball and a slider. The key for Martin's success in the last month, he's won his last 6 starts, has been quickening his tempo. He's pitching faster with more confidence, and he's throwing a lot more strikes. He's throwing 15.5 pitches per inning now. Early in the year, it was 17.5 pitches per inning. So he's really been more efficient, more strikes, working faster. It's been a lot of fun to watch him pitch and have the success that people have been predicting for him for a long time. Tonight's Ranger defense is delivered by New Braunfels Visitors and Convention Bureau. It has Delino DeShields in left field, Nomar Mazar in right, Carlos Gomez is in center. Elvis Andrus and Rougned Odor play up the middle. Joey Gallo gets the start at third base again. Mike Napoli is at first, and behind the plate is Robinson Chirinos.
All right, so we're all set to go tonight, and as you say, I mean, really sort of like playoff games already, as the Rangers not in do or die on a daily basis, but as close to it as you can get. 2.5 games out of that second wild card. As you mentioned, the Yankees, sure, they hold the current wild card, the top wild card, but from their perspective, only 3.5 back of Boston. They still have division title on their mind. A much easier route to go in the postseason if they can get there. And we are underway tonight. The first pitch strike to Brett Gardner. Martin misses low, and it is 1-1. Now Gardner with a .258 average. He's done a great job of getting on base and then getting in for this Yankees team. And he takes inside. Close pitch. Gardner now the longest tenured Yankee. One of those things that sneaks up on a guy. A third-round pick in 2005. Made his big league debut in 08. And he takes strike 2. Martin 11 wins, 10 losses, the .487 earned run average. And his 2-2 pitch, a one hopper to shortstop. Andrews right there on top of it, 1 away.
We'll talk about the improvements that Martin has made to have been able to win his last 6 starts. Obviously, he's throwing more strikes. He's also had much more success against left-hand hitters. Surprisingly, in the first 13 starts of the season, left-hand hitters hit over .350 against him, but now he's back where he should be. Last 14 starts, they're hitting .190 against him. And that's what you would expect.
Aaron Judge, and he'll take low. And he has been a source of fascination all year this year from the start of the year. Now, here we are in September, and his season has run the gamut. Smoking hot in the first half, much different second half. And that has drawn a lot of attention. But lately, seems to be rounding back to his original form, and he smashes this one out to center field, but not going to carry for him. Gomez is there and tucks it away.
Well, and earlier in the season, maybe that pitch ends up going over the center field wall. But he is definitely not the same hitter now that he was in the first half of the year. He's hitting .185 in the second half. 30 home runs in the first half, only 9 in the second half. Yankees are batting him second, just like Miami bats Stanton second. 2 big, huge power hitters, both hitting second. Mike Trout hits second. It's almost become, Dave, over the last few years that you put your best hitter second instead of third. It used to be third. Now I think the new third is batting second.
I'm with you. I mean, it's definitely a trend.
And I'm sure there's analytic reasons behind it. Maybe you get an extra whatever, 20 at bats in the course of a season, 15 at bats in the course of a season. And I'm sure there's things about batting second that work in the favor of the overall lineup. But it does seem to be a little bit of a trend with a lot of good hitters.
2-2 to Gary Sanchez. Speaking of good hitters, 28 home runs this year, 79 RBIs for Sanchez, who maybe in the opposite vein, Aaron Judge did not get off to the great start, but has gotten stronger as the season has worn on. When he's healthy and in the lineup, he's a pretty big weapon.
And both of these guys were also pretty impressive at the All-Star game in the home run derby. Judge was spectacular, but Sanchez was pretty good himself.
2-2 pitch and a bouncer right side, nobody home. Had the shift on for Sanchez, and he went the other way with it for a base hit.
Well, it looked like Sanchez in that count was not trying to pull the ball. He was trying to put the ball in play. Had a huge hole to hit at. Martin threw the sinker. He got the grounder, but there's no one there. Ground ball to second, rolls right into center field.
So the inning will continue for the Yankees, and it will extend the work in this first inning for Martin Perez. Starlin Castro, their second baseman, bats cleanup. So you have a 2-hole hitter with 39 homers leading the league. Your 3-hole hitter, your catcher, has 28 bombs, and now your cleanup man of 14 home runs this year.
I think one of the keys for Judge batting second is the fact that he has an on-base percentage well over 40% because of the 105 walks that he has. His average has steadily declined, but the walks have maintained their pace. And so when you've got a guy with a 400 on-base percentage batting in front of Sanchez, and Castro's been a good hitter for him, that makes some sense.
Well, a routine ground ball to short. They force out Sanchez, and the inning is done. So Martin Perez puts up a goose egg at the top of the first. And now here come the Rangers. And now the Rangers with their opportunity against Tanaka. Let's take a look at our Southwest starting lineup. Rangers a game over 500 and sending Delano to Shields out in that leadoff spot again. Shin-Soo Choo the DH. Andrus Mazzara Gomez in the middle. Joey Gallo slips down to 6th in the order tonight. Napoli, Odor, Robinson, Chirinos does the catching and bats 9th.
Our Ford pitch arsenal for Masahiro Tanaka. Fastballs 38% of the time. He'll throw a lot of sliders and a lot of splitters, well more than his fastball, and he mix in a curveball every now and then. The fastball is almost a diversion. It's the splitter and that slider right there that he likes to throw to get you out. He'll throw the splitter down below the knees and try to get you to chase it. And he mixes up his pitches, and he'll throw any pitch at any time. And he's got impeccable control. If he throws a ball right there, that's where he was trying to throw it most of the time.
Yeah, he's about as good as they come in terms of strikeout to walk ratio. His 1-1 to Delano to Shields, and he win. That's strike 2. In fact, Tanaka has a career strikeout to walk ratio of a little better than 5. 603 strikeouts, 120 walks. It's the second highest rate in the modern era, behind only Chris Sale. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and he gets Delano to start the game. Now this is this year for Tanaka, 439 strikeout to walk ratio. Chris Sale has just blown through the numbers this year, but very close over the course of their careers. 27th start of the year for Tanaka. And he goes after Shin-Soo Choo.
Tanaka's had 159 strikeouts in 155 innings, so he's definitely a strikeout guy. And both hitters have been started off with a slider.
You see the numbers for Choo. Good power. The on base over 360. And he's been locked in lately, pretty consistent. Hits in his last 9 starts. It's 1-1. These two teams played 3 games out of New York earlier this year, back in June. Rangers took 2 out of 3 there. Ball and 2 strikes on Chu. As we were commenting at the top, in a position now where you have to win every series, maybe sweep a couple through the end of the year to try and sneak in one of those wild card spots. Tanaka's 1-2. Chu will get another one, but be in considerable pain when it happens. That one didn't look very comfy.
Tanaka is not the kind of guy that will light up the radar gun. There you'll see his slider and how it spins. His fastballs are sometimes in the low 90s, but it's the assortment of pitches and the way he uses his pitches that makes him tough. Mentioned in the first half, a lot of his pitches were up. He gave up a lot of home runs early, but not as many lately. 29 home runs on the season, but most of those came first half of the season. He had the month of May where he went 2-4 with an 8.42 ERA. That was probably the low point of his time as a Yankee. Gave up 14 home runs in 36 innings over a 7-start stretch.
Yeah, it was a pretty stunning start to the year for Tanaka.
Yeah, there was talk about what are we going to do with Tanaka, but all they could do is keep throwing him out there, and he has a lot of pride, obviously a lot of ability, and he figured it out.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Chu. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Tanaka.
And for the Yankees on defense, Brett Gardner is their left fielder. Jacoby Ellsbury, the veteran, is in center field. Aaron Judge is in right. It's all-star Starlin Castro at second. Didi Gregorius, for the second straight year, has hit 20 home runs as a shortstop. Todd Frazier, one of the newer Yankees, is at third. Chase Headley is at first, and behind the plate is Gary Sanchez.
So a couple of strikeouts for Tanaka to get things started, and now Elvis Andrus. And a breaking ball pounded in the dirt to the left side of the infield and handled cleanly over there by Frazier. And it's a 1-2-3 from Masahiro Tanaka. Needs just 12 pitches to get it done. We have here tonight a Friday night, temperatures in the low 80s. Yankees and Rangers opening game in a 3-game series. And our Kubota power stats tonight. Martin Perez on a great run. You were talking about it earlier. 6 consecutive starts that he has won now. He's just the 3rd pitcher in Rangers history to accomplish that feat. Fergie Jenkins, Kenny Rogers, the other two. Kenny Rogers won 7 in a row in 2005. And so Martin trying to join him. If he can get it done here tonight. Matt Holliday, the first man he'll face in the second inning. And it's 1-1. Holliday, the DH. And as his career has moved along, it's been harder and harder to be in the lineup every day. Injuries have slowed him down a little bit. A couple of runs on the disabled list. Recently came off the DL at the end of August. Lower lumbar strain, and he hits this one up the middle. That's a base hit. So, second hit of the night for the Yankees. Lead man is on here in the second.
He got Holliday to wave at a curveball on the pitch before this. Now 1-2. He's trying to get this pitch much lower than he did. That pitch hung right up in the middle of the plate. Holliday didn't hit it all that hard, but he had an easy time making contact. I think Martin was trying to throw that much lower and probably more inside.
So man on for Didi Gregorius.
Well, that's a good sign. That pitch has been called a strike a couple of times. Once to Gardner and now to Gregorius. And so if C.B. Buckner behind the plate is going to have that strike zone right at the bottom of the strike zone. Some umpires will give you that pitch, some might not. That's a good sign for Martin because that's what he's trying to do. Make it sink and keep the ball right down at the bottom of the strike zone.
Chopper, shortstop. Odor backs up. Quick flip to second. And they do not get the out. Elvis had to leave the bag to get to the baseball, and what looked like a potential double play ends up with nobody out and 2 men on.
Yeah. Once Rugnet backs up on this ball, he needs to know that there's no chance of getting a double play now. And so the most important thing with a slow runner at first base is to get the one out. He makes the flip like there's a chance to get a double play, but Gregorius runs well enough that as he's backing up, now there's no time to get a double play. So you've got to make a nice, accurate throw, get the one out at second, and know there's no chance to get a double play.
The Rangers have had a couple of those kind of moments lately. We had a doubleheader Wednesday in Atlanta, and in the Cole Hamels starting the nightcap. A couple of plays right around second base. It proved very costly in a 5-run inning.
Yeah, that's just a case of if you're able to catch the ball coming in, then you've got a great chance for a double play. But that's a relatively slow hopper that when you go back on it now and it takes that last big hop, it eliminates a double play. So the only thing you can do then is say, okay, I'm going to get one out at second with a nice, deliberate, accurate throw. Can't try to turn it quickly when there's no chance to get a double play.
0-2 on Chase Headley, the switch hitter. 2 men on, nobody out. Now, it is the one thing that has really helped Martin Perez this year, has been the ability to get that double play. And he needs one here, the 0-2. Fastball at 95 miles per hour, so he's got a little giddy up on it tonight. Headley at 279 with 12 home runs. Martin's 1-2. And this one lined out toward right field. Coming on for it, Mazzara. It'll drop in front, but the Yankees will have to go station to station. Holliday had to hold for a moment at second base. Make sure that one got in. And so the bases will be loaded.
A tough inning for Martin Perez. A dribbler up the middle. A play that wasn't made at second base. A changeup, not a bad pitch. It's up a little bit. Headley's out in front of it, hits it right off the end of the bat, just bloops it into right field. So 2 soft singles and an error at second base. Load the bases with nobody out.
The 8th and 9th place hitters coming up for the Yankees. Now, in seasons past, these are the spots where Martin Perez might get a little off track. And it'll be key to see how he responds here. There's still an opportunity to get out of here with minimal damage, depending on what he does with Ellsbury. And this one line just over second base. It gets a run home. Ellsbury with a line drive single. They're still loaded, and it's 1-0 New York.
Well, the circumstances give the bases loaded, nobody out, and then Ellsbury hits a solid line drive. If it's a foot lower, Odor's able to catch it. Instead, he sneaks it just barely over Rugned's glove.
Well, we've seen Rugi make a couple of those plays this year. Just beyond the reach. So still bases loaded and nobody out. And now Todd Frazier. You see 1 for 13 with the bases loaded this year. It's a Yankees team that can score runs, and they have lately 6 consecutive games of at least 6 runs in all of them. And those sorts of stretches are fairly rare. Oh, this one gets away. No, it did not. It got a piece of Frazier. So that will bring home a run. And now 2-0 New York.
Frazier on that pitch, slow curveball. Not going to try to get out of the way of that. You're going to sit there and hope it hits you in the foot because it's an RBI. Nightmare of an inning right now. They have to get that ground ball. Get that ground ball and get a double play. Perfect ground balls a one hopper right back to the mound.
Yeah.
Throw it home and back to first.
Rocale take a moment just to slow things down a little bit here in this second inning. 2 runs in, still nobody out. And it'll be the top of the order, Brett Gardner coming up. So a tough start for Martin Perez. Talking about the Yankees scoring 6 or more runs in 6 straight road games. That's the second longest streak in the majors this year. The Houston Astros went 8 consecutive games. And it's the longest for the Yankees since 2005. So we're going back a little ways. But this team is built to score runs. And they don't need the breaks that they have gotten this inning, but they will gladly take them. A hit batter, an error. First pitch to Gardner, and he takes strike 1. Corners are in, middle of the infield back. No balls, 2 strikes on Gardner. We're talking about this lineup, especially the top of the order for the Yankees, and how waiting on deck now is Aaron Judge, a man with 39 home runs this year, most in the American League. And that's part of the reason why you see these guys moving up, those big hitters, into the 2-hole of lineups. Is, you know, more and more we put a guy in the 9th spot of the order who's a second leadoff hitter. So for the better part of the game, that guy batting second is really batting behind a couple of leadoff guys. That's not necessarily the case with this Yankees lineup, but let's just say RBI spots come up frequently for that second place hitter a lot these days. A swing and a miss, and Gardner strikes out, and that is a huge out for Martin Perez.
That's what, if you're gonna strike a guy out, that's when you want to do it. Nobody out and the base is loaded. Makes a good pitch with his slider. A little bit out of the strike zone. Very difficult pitch to lay off of. And he just really made Gardner look bad on that pitch.
So Martin gets a very big out, and now that ground ball double play, wherever it could go on the infield, would work for him here, get him out of this inning, but a formidable man at the plate. You look at the American League ranks for Aaron Judge. First in homers, first in runs and slugging. He's in a virtual tie for first and on base. He and Jose Altuve both showing a .412 on base percentage. So you got to go out to the 4th decimal point to find the difference between them. 1-1 the count.
A good pitch right there. Trying to jam him with a good fastball. Mentioned how many times Judge walks. Walked 105 times this year.
1-1.
But he also strikes out a lot. He struck out 184 times.
Yeah, talking about categories, he leads the league. I mean, most walks, most strikeouts.
But in his case, he'll take the strikeouts. I mean, you'd love to see him cut them down, but when your on base percentage is .412, there's not a whole lot to complain about.
Headley at third, Ellsbury at second, Frazier at first. 2-1 pitch. And that'll even it up.
And like Joey Gallo, he's stolen 7 bases as well. He's been thrown out 4 times. Joey's only been thrown out once. But a lot of similarities. Joey hasn't quite gotten to the point where he's going to walk 100 times, but he has been so much more patient as the season has gone on. 21 walks in his last 20 games.
The 2-2 from Perez. Just inside. It's a full count. What a spot. 2 runs in the second inning. Bases loaded. 1 out. And a full count to Aaron Judge. Here it comes. Got him looking, and that's a huge strikeout right there for Martin Perez.
Well, Judge has a great eye at the plate, and that was a borderline pitch that just barely touched the inside of the strike zone. That's a pitch. Boy, if you're the pitcher, you have to have this pitch with the bases loaded. 96 miles an hour. He gave him his best fastball and located it perfectly right on the inside corner. Judge didn't think so, but the Fox track says otherwise. Good call right there by C.B. Butler. And you can get Sanchez right here. A pretty nice comeback for Martin Perez.
On the one hand, you give up the 2 runs this inning, but give your team a lift if you can get out of this. Here's the pitch to Sanchez, and a bouncing ball through into left field. Headley is in. Ellsbury will follow. The throw goes back to third, and the out there. Frazier hung out between second and third base, but 2 runs do score on the Sanchez base hit, and it's 4-0 New York as we head to the bottom of the second inning.
Lamp in.
Number 30, Nomar Mazara.
Well, 4-0 New York as we go to the bottom of the second inning. And you know, a Coca-Cola family pack offers savings of over 30% on tickets, food, kids zone access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drinks. A family pack is a great way to catch the Rangers this week when they face the Mariners in an important divisional matchup. Go to TexasRangers.com/specials. Get your Coca-Cola family pack today. All right, Nomar Mazara will start the second inning. It'll be Nomar, then Carlos Gomez and Joey Gallo. The Rangers looking up at the Yankees early in this one. Two 2-0. Well, you look at those 4 runs for the Yankees. Only one of those runs earned. Really interesting when this one is done to go back and look at how the game finishes up and what ends up being critical and what ends up being forgettable. But boy, just a huge play in the inning that opened the floodgates, and the 2-1 pitch.
Yeah, if you make that force out at second base, chances are no runs scored. One of those runs ended up being earned, but if you're the pitcher and you get that force out at second, man on first and 1 out, your whole thought process is different. Maybe the pitches you throw to the next hitter are different types of pitches in different locations.
This ball belted high in the air, deep out to right, and it is gone. Wow.
Boy, that's almost up where he hit one early in the year, 470. Mentioned that Tanaka gives him up. That's his 30th. Nomar got it. Looked like an off-speed pitch, and he just launched it.
Well, we came in wondering about Judge and Joey Gallo. Well, come on. I mean, that is as big a bomb as we have seen here this year.
He's going to admire this one. I don't blame him. That hit it almost on top of the exit up there. The one he hit earlier was a line drive. This one was more of a high fly ball, so it might not get the 470 plus that he had on the other one.
Measured at 453 feet.
So Nomar has 91 runs batted in. Judge, with his spectacular season, has 87. So Nomar has knocked in more runs than Aaron Judge has knocked in with 39 home runs.
Well, some kind of shot right there.
Nomar has now driven in 34 in his last 38 games.
Two-strike pitch to Gomez, and he'll take high. You see the team total home runs. Rangers with the most in the American League. The Orioles 3 back. Yankees not far behind at 202.
Nomar hit 20 home runs last year. He's going to hit 22 or 23 probably this year, somewhere around there. So not huge home run numbers, but you just have to remember his youth. You look at what Elvis did over the course of his career, and when you see Mazara hit a ball 470 feet, he just hit that one 450 feet. Saw the ones he hit off Jared Weaver when he first got to the big leagues, and you see how far and the kind of power that he does have. It hasn't translated into a large amount of home runs, but the strength and the power is there. Now it's just a matter of time, and he should easily develop into a guy that can hit over 30 home runs.
Full count now on Carlos Gomez. Yeah, going back to what you were saying about the RBIs. I mean, 91 now. And here he is batting cleanup. Now the lineup has had to adjust a little bit with the loss of Adrian Beltre with a hamstring pull. But Mazara, 22 years old, batting cleanup, and he's going to drive in 100+ runs this year. Gomez lifts one high in the air out to short left field. Gregorius going out and coming on for it is Gardner. Wow, that was an adventure.
He had to stay with that one. It's one of those skies at this time of night where it's not simple to see the ball. The ball blends into the sky. It's going to be a tough play for Gregorius. He wasn't anywhere near that ball. Gardner gets it in the glove. He's yelling for it. And when he catches it, he's got to maneuver his glove to make sure it stays in his glove.
Ooh. 4-1. And now here is Joey Gallo. Gallo, 37 home runs. He's too short of the American League lead. See right there, most since 2012 for a Ranger. He's third in the American League with a .561 slugging percentage. And yet what really has dominated the conversation about Joey Gallo, particularly in the second half, has been the change in his game with regard to the strike zone and pitch recognition, his ability to take walks. Strikes out swinging here, and there are 2 away in the second inning.
And that, for the most part, is Tanaka's strikeout pitch, the splitter. And that one was just about exactly what he tried to do. Make it go down and tail away from the left-hand hitter. Tough pitch.
Well, he has 3 strikeouts so far tonight. Now Mike Napoli. Napoli with the average below 200. 196, but with 29 home runs. And you can see he has just punished Tanaka in his career. 500 batting average with a couple of home runs. An eventful second inning. Yankees got 4 in the top. Rangers have chipped away for 1 in the bottom of the inning, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes on Napoli. Napoli has found his way on with a little more regularity lately. 3 hits and 9 walks in his last 23 plate appearances. Better than a .500 on base average. It's a stretch of 6 games for him, so maybe a sign that he's seen it a little better. 1-2 pitch, and he strikes out swinging. 4th strikeout victim for Tanaka tonight. But the Rangers are on the board. Nomar Mazara launched one to right field. Well over 450 feet. That's a 4-1 game. 1 Yankees as we go to the 3rd inning. Starlin Castro, their cleanup man, will start things off. It'll be Castro, Matt Holliday, and Didi Gregorius. Martin Perez looking for a little bit of a bounce back inning here. He threw 24 pitches in the 2nd inning, an inning that had him out there on the mound nearly 15 minutes. But his team came back, got him a run. Mazara with a big homer. Two and 1 the count here at Globe Life Park. Beautiful scene as always. Good to be home. Castro reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1. Average up over 300. 313 coming in. That's a full count. Yankees 75 wins this year, 64 losses, so 11 games over 500. Bouncer 3rd base, and that one gobbles up Joey Gallo. Trying to take that extra hop, and it skipped up on his left shoulder. An error opens the 3rd inning.
Well, it looked like it had some top spin on it. See what happened with Joey. He'll take a big hop here, but just misplayed the hop. Some 3rd basemen don't have a strong enough arm to catch a ground ball like that. Joey's got excellent arm strength, so even if he's laying back on a ball like that, he can still throw it with enough velocity to get the runner. He just wasn't able to pick up the hop.
So Perez now has to go to work on Matt Holliday, who singled to open the 2nd inning. An inning in which the Yankees would score 4 runs. Holliday the first of those 4. Little bouncer by the mound. Andrews charges. Quick flip for 1 on the 1st. Double play. 6-4-3 twin killing. And that'll clear the bases.
Yeah, and good for Martin. After the 2nd inning, which was punctuated with an error, leadoff batter gets on an error, but he makes the pitch and gets a simple double play and erase that error. So good job right there by Martin. Almost pitched his way out of a jam in the 2nd inning. A little dinky ground ball that Sanchez hit with 2 outs after 2 strikeouts, dribbled into left field for 2 runs. Otherwise, he almost got out of that inning with only giving up 2 runs, even with the error.
Didi Gregorius
definitely has not been hit hard. Both Sanchez's ground balls were dribblers. Holliday hit his ball off the end of the bat. The one solidly hit ball was the one that Ellsbury hit. No, Holliday hit a little ground ball. Headley's the one that hit it off the end of the bat. Ellsbury hit a solid line drive just barely over Ruby's head.
Gregorius puts a charge into this one. High and deep out to right field, and that one is gone. 21st home run of the year for Didi Gregorius. And he continues a tear on the road. 5-1 New York.
Gregorius is a good player. It's kind of their version of Elvis, is hitting 290. That's his 21st home run. He plays solidly at shortstop, has some pretty good speed. And that's been a rarity over the last couple of months as a left-hander hitting a home run against Martin Perez. Last 14 starts, left-hand hitters have hit 190 against him.
Breaking ball, bounce shortstop. Elvis is there, and it ends the inning. But the Gregorius home run adds to the Yankees lead. 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd.
welcome you back to Globe Life Park in Arlington. Time for our progressive fan of the game. And we wonder all the time about kids and history. Do they know the history of baseball? Well, I introduce you to Jackson Johnstone. And Jackson, who is your favorite baseball player?
Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner. How'd you learn about him?
I read books.
And you know what? That deserves the progressive fan of the game. And Tom, this one was for you.
Hey, everybody.
And he's got personality.
Kidnap me, okay?
No, and he's got personality.
How do you think I learned about him? You think I saw him play? Wow.
Yeah, a little character.
It's an intense little fan right there, boy.
Testy. Well, Rougned Odor to start things here in the third inning. Odor, Robinson, Chirinos, and then back to the top of the order. Tanaka with 4 strikeouts in the first 2 frames, and you mentioned it at the top, Tom. Just excellent command. He's a strikeout pitcher, yes, but he has great command. He does not give up many free bases. And you would figure there'd be home runs that would come with the territory. If you're going to fill the zone up with strikes, guys are going to occasionally hit them. He's given up 30 this year. Look at those last 3 starts for him. 7 innings in each of them. Just 3 walks to the 17 strikeouts. Last time we faced Tanaka, it was in late June in New York. It was Tanaka against Yu Darvish. Darvish struck out 10. Tanaka struck out 8. Tanaka had 23 swings and misses in that start. This one hit hard on the ground to the right side. Nice play by Castro, and he throws out Odor 1 away. He comes up a little late, a little slow rather.
Certainly shade Rougned that way, and he almost hit one by him anyway. The ball kind of stayed up and took this big hop. Castro makes a nice play. Hard hit, hooking line drive. Looked like it was headed for a base hit. The ball's actually by Castro, reaches back toward the outfield. Still able to catch it and make the play.
So 1 gone. Here's Robinson Chirinos. You see that note at the bottom of your screen there. 22 consecutive games in which he has reached base safely.
Yeah, you can't say enough about the way he's playing right now. Pitchers love to pitch to him. Last 24 games, he's walked 17 times. Also hit 360.
1 strike pitch. So your last 30 days, a .512 on base average. It's the highest in baseball.
Well, you know how hot Adrian's been watching him play. And Robinson with the 17 walks has been on base a higher percentage than even Adrian has. Joey Votto leads the major leagues in walks. He's walked something like 117, 118 times. That's why he's walking. He's able to lay off a pitch like that. No balls and 2 strikes. Tanaka's a very tough pitcher, especially when you get behind no balls and 2 strikes, because then you can just go to work. You're not going to get anything good to hit unless it's a big time mistake. He tries to, there's the splitter down. He'll throw the slider low and away. He wants you to swing at something out of the strike zone. Don't throw a strike unless he has to.
He's gone 2-2 on Chirinos, who also has 16 home runs, a career best for Robinson this year. That's a full count. Well, Chirinos has been getting regular playing time. He has started 28 of the last 38 games. Remember, he missed that 4-game stretch when he rolled his ankle, or had his ankle rolled at home plate in Tampa Bay at the end of July. Basically has played every day. And a lot of times you think about the toll of that position, catching, that it might take on a guy's offense. It has boosted Chirinos' output. The windup and the payoff pitch. And we'll get another one.
It's almost like he's blossomed after Jonathan Lucroy was traded. You know, he was performing well, hitting for power, getting a chance to play quite a bit, but Lucroy was essentially the regular catcher. Since Jonathan left, Robinson has taken over and taken the opportunity and raised his performance to the highest level of his career.
Lifts this one high in the air, foul to the right side, and the wind will take that one further up into the seats. You could see that one as it was coming down. The wind really pushed it. It's blowing across from left to right. You got to get it pretty far up there, where the structure here does not block the wind or turn it into some sort of jet stream. But that one got up in the air, and then the wind just sent it into the seats. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. And Chirinos shoots it up the middle, and that's a base hit. 23 consecutive games for Robinson Chirinos. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Dana Larson.
Dave, thanks very much. As you well know, Indians have won 15 in a row. This is a good way to start number 16. A no-doubter from Edwin Encarnacion in the first inning. 3-run shot, 34th trip around the bases for the Parrot this year. 4-0 Cleveland on top at the bottom of the 7th, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Dana. And look, we're all in favor of the Indians continuing to win. Beat the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles right now a half game in front of the Rangers in the wild card standings. So a perfect time for them to be seeing Cleveland.
The team that had to get hot, and did, for this reason. They didn't want the Indians to catch them for the best record in the American League, is the Astros. The Astros have won 7 straight, 8 out of 10. And they're about 2.5 games ahead of the Indians, who are trying to catch them for the best record in the American League. The Indians on their way to winning 16 straight in the National League. Arizona's won 13 straight. And the Dodgers have lost 7 straight.
High fly down that right field line. Ooh. Judge almost got to that one. He did get there, but that's a tough play. He's lucky he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah, it's impossible to judge whether you're barely going to be able to catch it or whether the ball's going to hit off the top of that wall right there. He's in position, has his glove in position. The ball hit the wall, and then Karam passed him.
You said it was impossible to judge?
Yeah, that was a mistake. That was not on purpose. I'm not that clever.
1-1. And that one right down the third baseline. That's a base hit for DeShields. Chirinos got a good start. He heads to third, and he's going to be waved by Tony Beasley. Here comes a throw. Not in time. And Chirinos scores. It's a 5-2 ball game.
I hope Robinson's okay. He slid into home and kind of stuck right in the batter's box. You know, the guys on the team who are wild swingers should watch Robinson's last at bat when he's behind no balls and 2 strikes, worked the count, fouled off a couple of pitches, and then singled up the middle. You talk about earning a base hit in 9 or 10 pitches. And then the result is he scores on that double by Delino. You learn a lot from watching Robinson's at bats.
Delino was thinking of maybe grabbing an extra one there, but he'll take the RBI double, 15th of the year for him. Now Chu. Chu struck out in the first. He's 0 for 1.
A guy like Tanaka, who in the game, has struck out 4 already. strikeout per inning throughout the season. It gets you 0-2, and you have a 9 or 10 pitch at bat, foul off pitches, work the count, 3-2, and get yourself a base hit. That's the epitome of a very nice at bat.
One ball, one strike. The Shield with great speed out there at second. And this ball hit well out to center field, but right there to Ellsbury. So Delano will move up a base, but there are two gone.
Well hit ball by Chu. Just hit it right exactly straight to Ellsbury.
And Elvis Andrus now with 2 away.
But Elvis has become one of the guys that the Rangers count on to produce runs. He's gone from a table setter to a run producer. Knocked in 80 runs this year. And getting big hits all season long. Hit 360 in his last 140 at bats.
Tanaka puts that one in there for a strike. Our TXU Energy power player to watch. It's his 5th shortstop in Rangers history with 20 home runs in a season. 20 homers, 80 RBIs for Elvis.
Tanaka frequently in this game, at least 3 or 4 times, has started the hitter off with a slider right down the middle. It's almost like he's counting on the hitter not looking for it. He'll get ahead. But when he needs to make a pitch, he's not going to throw it right down the middle. He just starts the hitter off at a time when he's probably not expecting it.
A chopper over third. That'll get Delano to Shields home. Heading to second, Andrus. An RBI double, and it's a 2-run game. When he continues to close in on some unprecedented territory. Now 39 doubles for Andrus.
There's the splitter. You can see the grip, but that one didn't split. That one stayed up. Elvis still hit on top of it, but he chopped it right over Frazier's head down the line. Pick up another run. Elvis now with 81 runs knocked in. That's the most in the major leagues for a shortstop. 10 more than Francisco Lindor.
Well, he's in scoring position now for Nomar Mazara. And who got the Rangers on the board last inning with a towering home run. Mazara doing a lot of damage here at home. 312 average at Globe Life Park this year. It's the 5th best home average of any player in the American League. In the comfort zone here. Now a turn to pull back to second.
Whoa.
And Elvis.
That was closer than Elvis wanted it to be. Second base umpire Manny Gonzalez is right on top of that.
That tag just didn't get it.
Elvis moved his left hand back toward third base to keep Gregorius from being able to tag him, as his right hand slid forward to touch the bag.
Elvis still at second base. A bit of a distraction for Tanaka. The bouncer first base, but foul. Well, the Rangers in September, and we're just a week into the month. Look at this, 7.5 runs per game, most in baseball. Hitting a ton of home runs. Hitting on at a nearly 400 average as a group. Those are some pretty impressive numbers for the first week of the month, the most critical and final month of the regular season. We need a little more of that offense tonight. Trailing by 2. 1-2 to Mazzara. Nomar left the second game of our doubleheader on Wednesday with tightness in his left quad. He'd really been looking pretty good at the plate. Today said he was fine, got a day to just rest yesterday. He was already had an impact in this one. This one gets away now from Sanchez, and Andrus gets to third base. A wild pitch on Tanaka.
Omar is trying to do the same thing that Robinson did, get back into the count, being down in the count. Tanaka's trying to get him to swing at a bad pitch. Comes a little bit more into play now with Elvis moving up to third base. Bounce that in, really depending on the catcher now to block it. Elvis is so far off, Tanaka can reach out and touch him.
Look at that. Nobody covering him at third. Keep going. Swing and a miss. Mazzara strikes out. The inning is done, but the Rangers get 2 back. We'll go to the 4th inning in a 2-run game. As we go to the 4th inning tonight, and a reminder, you can help people affected by Hurricane Harvey by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Harvey to 90999. By doing that, you make a $10 donation, and that donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. A wild beginning to this one as we get going here in the 4th inning. Martin Perez dumps one in there for a strike to Elko. One and one. Ellsbury had a base hit in the 2nd inning, a 4-run 2nd inning for the Yankees. One of those nightmarish half innings for Martin Perez. It seemed like he was making pitches, but not getting outs. Here's 1-2. It's already becoming a long night for Perez, who's closing in on 60 pitches. So I figure the bullpens will factor in this one. This one lined over third, but foul. Stays 2-2. Of course, in September, that's typically the case. We see a lot of bullpens. And especially when you're playing the Angels, who lately have been making extremely liberal use of their pen. We've seen some of the numbers in the innings that bullpen has been asked to pitch for Mike Scioscia.
Well, September they're going to have a lot of them, but they've got a lot of guys to choose from too.
Yeah, that's just it, right? September, you can pack that bullpen with a ton of bodies. Narrow miss inside. That's a full count. There's a strikeout of Ellsbury, and that is the third strikeout tonight for Martin Perez. One away. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, the Rangers clubhouse has been glued to the Weather Channel for the last several days, tracking the path of Hurricane Irma. First, it was Puerto Rico that everyone was worried about. Guys like AJ Jimenez, Hector Ortiz, Alex Claudio, their families made it through. Everything made it through okay, and then focus shift to the Dominican Republic, where so many of these players are from. Adrian Beltre had some slight damage at his home, but everyone safe there. And then now, of course, the attention shifts to Miami, Florida, where those people affected or will likely be affected very soon. Nick Martinez, his family is there. He said his family's boarded up the house, and they're most concerned about a house that he recently bought with his wife. So they're just, I guess, bracing for the storm. He said right now going to ride it out.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything minor is going to happen in Florida.
No, this is
Governor's pretty much said to everybody, pack up and get out. What a nightmare.
It has been a rough hurricane season already. Houston and South Texas blasted by Harvey, and now Irma.
Level 4 hurricane right behind this one.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Todd Frazier. He was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the second. And he hits this ball sharply down the left field line. Foul ball. He lost it down there in the corner, but fortunately for us, third base umpire Mark Carlson right on top of it. Had a good look.
It looked like Frazier's convinced that ball was foul. Although I think Mark Carlson had a better look than he did. It's definitely foul. Martin's leaning, hoping it goes foul, and it did.
Give it a little Fred Flintstone.
Fred used to use body language on foul balls.
Bowling.
Oh, bowling. I wasn't a real watcher of that.
Oh man, childhood. Base hit left field. So he comes right back and finds a big part of the field this time, and Frazier is on with 1 out here in the 4th inning.
There's the changeup. You can see it being held in the last 3 fingers. Frazier's out in front of it, hits it off the end of the bat. Pretty much a left-handed swing. He loops it over short for a base hit. Not as bad on it.
Yankees have had at least 1 man on every inning. Scored 4 in the second, 1 in the third. Now Brett Gardner, who's hitless in 2 tries, and he takes strike 1. Gardner struck out swinging in the second inning. That was the first out, and came with the bases loaded. That was a part of a little stretch in this game where Martin Perez, who does not really get a lot of strikeouts, needed him in a big way, and he got 1 of Gardner and followed that up with a strikeout of Judge. 0-2 the count. Gardner, their leadoff hitter, 348 average. But like a lot of leadoff hitters, also pretty good power, 20 home runs. In fact, in these lineups, 18 hitters. There are only 2 guys with fewer than 10 home runs among the 18. Jacob Ellsbury has 7. Delano DeShields has 4. Oh-2. Martin could really use a scoreless inning here. His team has gotten him back in the game, scoring runs in each of the last 2 innings.
That ball in on the fist twice by Gardner. Ball hitting below the trademark. Last time when he struck him out with a sweeping breaking ball. It seemed like he might have him set up for the same thing right here after all those fastballs just pounding him on the inside part of the plate. And try it again. And he did the same thing with it again. 3rd ball he's hit just like that. Tell him to hit the ball out there. He can't hit that pitch out there. That's the only place he can hit it.
This would be the 20th pitch of the inning for Martin Perez. And the 74th overall.
Oh, the 3rd hitter of the inning.
2-2. Well, we have seen Martin at his best. His tempo is really upbeat. But with a base runner, he tends to slow down a little bit just to make sure that Frazier doesn't sneak one on him over there at first. 2-2.
Nice job by Gardner. Laid off at that time. All those fastballs in, yet he was still able to lay off that pitch.
Judge waiting for his turn. 4th 3-ball count tonight for Martin Perez. A high pop up near second base. 2 away. All right, tonight's cold hard facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. How about that, Aaron Judge? 105 walks this season, 2nd most by a rookie in Major League history. Now, he is clearly going to set the Major League record. He needs just 1 more to tie it. The rookie record, that is. Les Fleming walked 106 times in 1942. This ball hammered it down to that left field corner. That'll be extra bases for Judge. Frazier into 3rd. They'll stop him there. And we'll throw back to the infield off the mark. Wow.
No idea where Delano's throwing that ball. Got no chance to get a guy at second base. You got the lead runner who might try to score. He just launched that ball as hard as he could in the wrong direction. Judge hits a rope. It takes a good bounce off the wall. Right straight to Delano, who instead of throwing it to Elvis, he's the cutoff man. He threw it back behind Rugned, who was the trailer. And fortunately, the 3rd base coach hadn't waved Frazier. He had to stop him, but if he waved him, he would have scored.
So Judge at second base, Frazier at 3rd. That's the bad news. The good news is there are 2 out. If they can get Sanchez, he can be out of this inning without any additional damage done. Now, Gary Sanchez has been a difficult out for him today. A base hit through an open second base position in the 1st inning, and then a 2-run single in the 2nd. 2-0. Yankees with 5 runs on 8 hits already in this one tonight. We're still working here in the 4th inning. Martin allowed a season high 9 hits his last time out against the Angels. Just a little bit wide as well. 3-0 to Gary Sanchez. Perez had never faced Sanchez prior to tonight and walks him on 4 pitches. That loads him up. Now, is it possible there, Tom, that with first base open, they just weren't that interested in throwing to Sanchez?
That's what it looked like. It looked like a non-intentional walk. Every pitch was pretty much the same thing, well out of the strike zone, not even tempting for Sanchez. So that's what it appeared to be.
Jeff Bannister out there, and these are some pretty firm words, I'm sure, underscoring the importance of this at bat. I mean, this is a big at bat.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure Jeff is saying, hey, look, this is a game right now. It's 5-3. We've come back in this game. Last time with 2 outs and the bases loaded, that little base hit by Sanchez to left field scored 2. You want to keep that from happening right here. It's tough to fault the pitcher, though, when Sanchez rolls that bases loaded hit in the left field. He got the weakly hit grounder, just happened to find a hole. There's not much a pitcher can do about that. Make the pitch, get the little ground ball, and then hope it's hit at somebody. In that case, it wasn't.
Well, Yankees everywhere. Castro 0 for 2, reached on an error his last time. He takes ball 1. Numbers for Castro this season, and he pops this one up deep second base, and Odor gets out there. The inning is done. So the Yankees leave them loaded in the top of the 4th inning. Now it's going to be up to Carlos Gomez, Joey Gallo, and Mike Napoli in the bottom of the 4th. Big effort just a moment ago by Martin Perez. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Hey, MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Rangers baseball. Follow the Rangers with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast news, and a whole lot more. Just download MLB.com at bat today. All right, now we'll see if the Rangers can keep things going offensively against Tanaka. Gomez 0 for 1, flied out in the 2nd inning. Carlos with 17 home runs, 48 RBIs. And he takes off the plate, 2-0. Carlos has an on-base average well above league average. It's 339, partly because he's been hit by the pitch so many times. 19 times this year, most in the league, and he taps this one back by the mound. Castro, though, is there and throws him out, one away. Brings up Joey Gallo.
Tanaka probably a pretty good poker player because he does not change expression out on the mound. Doesn't matter what happens. That look right there is pretty much what you're going to see. Gives up a home run, that's the look. Strike someone out, that's the look. Win the game, that's the look.
A little like Bartolo Colon in Minnesota. Not going to give you anything one way or the other. One ball and one strike on Gallo. Joey struck out in the second inning. One of 5 strikeout victims so far tonight for Tanaka. And that's 1 and 2. And just as we talked about earlier with Aaron Judge of the Yankees with 184 strikeouts to lead the league. Part of the game and part of what you just accept with guys with his kind of power. Strike 3 called. Gallo down looking this time.
Wow. With the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes, you just are able to lay off a tough pitch like that. Unfortunately, there's the splitter. Unfortunately, it gets called a strike. That's a tough strike right there. Actually, a good job by Joey. It's strike 3, but I'd say if you take that pitch, a good percentage of the time it's going to be called a ball. That time it wasn't. Borderline pitch. But if you swing at it, you're not going to hit it anyway, so you're better off taking it, hoping it's called a ball.
So with 2 away, here is Mike Napoli. Knapp struck out in the second. Rangers got a run in the second inning, 2 runs in the third. That's 1 and 1. Got the very upper reaches of the strike zone there. Masahiro Tanaka has given up 3 runs already tonight. And for him, that's news lately. He allowed 3 or fewer runs in 7 of his last 8 starts. And here we are in the 4th inning, and he's already surrendered 3. We saw him earlier this year at Yankee Stadium. There's a splitter, swung on and missed. He went 8 shutout innings in that one. He was outstanding on that evening. Two balls, 2 strikes to Napoli. One thing about Tanaka, though, when you look at the numbers this year that would give you some hope tonight is that he has struggled on the road. 562 earned run average away from Yankee Stadium. Napoli takes strike 3 call. 7 strikeouts for Tanaka through 4 innings. And we go to the 5th in a 2-run game.
Yankees by a score of 5-3 here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Martin Perez back out on the mound for the Rangers. He has put together quite a successful run of late, and he is cause for a State Farm combination. Martin Perez, since getting shelled by the Yankees a couple of years ago, he's had 39 home starts, and he's gone 18-9 in those starts with a sub-4 ERA. Jeff Bannister talked about his pace, making that mechanical adjustment about 6 starts ago. It's sped up his delivery, increased the pace, keeps the defense engaged. And he said he's been able to stick in that rhythm and not overthink things too much, which he was doing previously in the season, guys.
It's worked for him. 2-0 here to Matt Holliday in the 5th inning. It's been great. I mean, he's been a different man his last 6 starts. He's won them all. He did get a little run support in one of them. That's okay. Whenever you got to do it, you got to do it. 2-1 the count. Most of the starts have been really solid during that stretch. It was the 17-7 win over the White Sox in there as well. But hey, you got to get some of those too.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to find a pitcher that doesn't have 4 or 5 games a year where he gives up 4 or 5, 6 runs. Even Chris Sale, Corey Kluber have done that. Not lately for Corey Kluber though. Corey Kluber actually leads Chris Sale in the ERA race in the American League. Sale has the lead in the strikeout race. Each have 15 wins. That's going to be a nice battle to see who gets the Cy Young Award, depending how they finish. Good pitch right there.
Bouncer to Napoli. It's out number 1 here in the 5th inning. Hey, don't miss out on one of our theme night items this year. Final chance to score one of the unique theme night items coming up. Purchase tickets through TexasRangers.com/theme nights. Receive a voucher good for your choice of available items on Saturday, September 30th, as the Rangers take on the Oakland A's. Go to TexasRangers.com/theme nights to get your tickets today. And if you missed out on whatever it was earlier this year, the umbrella, which is one of my all-time favorites, you get the umbrella.
There you go.
You know,
I like the Adrian Beltre hat.
yeah.
All the players were wearing them today in warm-ups. There it is. Say this all the time, but it's true. The giveaway items today are so much better than they were way back when.
Bouncer second base. That's 2 quick ground outs in this 5th inning for Martin Perez.
So far this year, I've liked the alarm clock.
Oh yeah.
It's baseball time in Texas. Tough to beat that one.
Gosh, there were a lot of really good ones too. You had the Pudge bobblehead, the Hall of Fame bobblehead.
Yeah. There's the real Pudge bobblehead.
You notice the hat he's wearing? Oh, he had on the 3K hat earlier. Very versatile guy. 2-0 to Headley. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Martin put up a goose egg in the 1st inning. Did the same thing in the 4th, although it was some work. Now fires that one in there. 2-1 to the Yankee switch hitter. There's a comebacker. And Perez with a clean 1-2-3. Top of the 5th inning. We're halfway there. Rangers trail by 2. fifth inning. And as we told you the other day, Cole Hamels, the 2017 Roberto Clemente nominee for the Rangers. He's does so much work with his foundation, almost $4 million that his foundation has granted worldwide, trying to help educate children all over the world. Before the ball game, Michael Young presenting him, and the fans recognizing him before the game for his nomination. Of course, the winner, the Major League winner, will be announced a little bit later, but congratulations to Cole Hamels on a great honor.
Yeah, players win awards for their performance on the field, but it's awards like that that are the most meaningful for sure. So congratulations and nice going to Cole Hamels.
Meanwhile, a two-run game here. And Rougned Odor leading things off in the bottom of the fifth inning, and he'll scoop this one out over second base and into right field. That's a base hit. Good start to the bottom of the fifth for the Rangers. Hey, tomorrow, Major League Baseball back on Fox. All rise for the judge. The Yankees continuing this series against the Rangers in American League Slugfest, or you can watch the Orioles battle the Indians. Check your local listings. My guess is you're going to get the Rangers and the Yankees here. It's all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central on Fox. I'm off that card before I get that. Pretty clear you're going to get the Rangers and the Yankees here. There's Robinson Chirinos. Lead man on here in the fifth inning. Chirinos hammers that one, but foul. Ooh.
Solid contact, wrong direction.
Chirinos had a base hit in the third inning, which means he's now gone 23 straight games reaching base. Rangers with 5 hits so far tonight. Lead man on here in the fifth. And it's 1-1. Hasn't been easy for Tanaka either. 7 strikeouts tonight, but that tends to run a guy's pitch count up just a little bit. This will be a 75th offering of the night. There's a close eye on Odor. We've talked so much lately about what Chirinos has done with the opportunity to play every day, but back earlier this season when he was not the everyday guy, Jonathan Lucroy was getting the lion's share of the playing time. Jeff Bannister was asked a rather broad question about leadership on this team, and Adrian Beltre, his time called just before that one delivered. Gary Sanchez having a word with C.B. Buckner about it. Not happy with it. But Banny was, was talking, obviously Adrian Beltre is a huge leader and a very big part of this team's identity. He said that next guy, though, the next real big leader on this team is Robinson Chirinos. And again, that's when Robinson was not an everyday contributor in the lineup. Bounces this one by third. That's a base hit. Odor around second to third base. Beasley's going to wave him. He'll score without a throw. RBI double by Chirinos. And it's a 1-run game.
I don't know what else we can say about Robinson that we haven't already said tonight. He just continues to have good at-bats against a tough pitcher. This time he hits a slider, takes advantage of one that stays up a little bit. And for the second time, the Rangers have a hard ground ball right down the third baseline into the corner to score a man from first. Robinson was the one that scored. Back in the third, he's the one that drives one in right now. over the last month, there hasn't been a better offensive player than Robinson, and that's including Elvis and Adrian, who have both been tremendous over the last month. But Robinson's right there with him, I think right in the same group with him.
Chirinos carries that tying run with him now. Bottom of the 5th inning. And DeShields, who doubled his last time up, could knot this game up here. Nobody out. And a bouncer. That one is through. A base hit. Chirinos will have to stop at 3rd. It's a single for Delino. Rangers have him on the corner.
The other guy, another guy that's getting an opportunity and cashing in with that opportunity is Delino. Last 21 games, he's walked 14 times himself. He's also hit about 320 in that time. Got a double and an RBI, now a single. With the man to 3rd base with nobody out. Rangers threatening to tie this ball game now with Chu up there.
Single, double, single to start the inning. And now Chu. The Rangers are 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. Chu looking for his first hit of the evening. First they will check in on Delino. Always a bit dicey with a man at 3rd base. Great crowd tonight and an enthusiastic bunch. Perfect way to start this series against the Yankees. Tanaka again over to 1st. Now Delino is 3rd in the American League with 28 stolen bases. Tanaka obviously very much under the impression that he's of a mind to run here. Middle of the infield, double play depth. Chu swings and misses at strike 1. So Tanaka, who has shown occasional weakness tonight, roughed up a little bit here in this 5th inning. And that one gets away. Here comes Chirinos. He'll score. And into second base to Shields. It's a new ball game. A wild pitch from Tanaka. And it's 5-5.
You have to say, based on the fact that Tanaka struck out 7, that at times he's had really good stuff tonight. But at times he's struggled, and give credit to the Ranger hitters. They've had some good at-bats against him as well. Sometimes a guy can have good stuff and the hitters just are the ones that shine, and I think there's a little bit of that going on too.
One and 1 to Chu. Go ahead run now at second base. And that's ball 2. Now they've got some activity going in that bullpen. Tommy Kahnle, the hard throwing right-hander, loosening up. Caleb Smith, the lefty, just called up on Sunday. So Tanaka might not be long for this one. At 80 pitches now tonight. This ball sent to left field. Heading into that corner. Long run out there for Gardner, and it's off his glove. DeShields got a late start. They'll throw up the stop sign, and they're unable to score on the play, but it is a double for Chu, unless they charge an error to Gardner. But I would imagine that would be a double.
No, that's a double, and it's actually pretty good base running right there by Delino. Delino went back to tag up, because if Gardner catches this ball, then he tags up and goes to third base, and you got a man on third base and 1 out for Elvis. As it is, he wasn't able to score, but you've got men on second and third with nobody out for Elvis, so you're still in great shape. There's a look at him tagging up. couldn't score. If he went halfway, he would have scored. But if he went halfway and Gardner caught that ball, which he could have, then you don't get to third base with 1 out. So that's a good job of base running. And now it's up to the guys hitting next to bring in 2 guys from second and third with nobody out.
And a new pitcher coming on for the Yankees as Canely comes on for Joe Girardi.
Rally in the 5th has this game tied at 5. Chevy game break time now. Rays at Red Sox, and Mookie Betts thankful to be playing in Fenway tonight. Pokes a line drive to right thanks to that low fence out in right field. He gets a home run, just his 3rd since the All-Star break, and it is the Red Sox up 8-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Back to Dave and Tom now, guys.
That might be the cheapest home run ever hit right there. Right down the line off the pesky pole.
Tommy Canely has come on for the Yankees here, and he was a really good piece of a big trade the Yankees made with the White Sox earlier this year. Hard-throwing right-hander.
Yeah, he's got a big arm, and Joe Girardi's hoping that big arm can keep the Rangers from really capitalizing in this inning. They've got 2 in already. Men on second and third with nobody out. 4 straight hits this inning, 2 singles and 2 doubles against Tanaka.
Well, now the heart of the order coming up as well, and Canely buries that one.
Gary Sanchez lucky to get a glove on that. 98 miles an hour. See how quickly Sanchez had to flip his glove around to try to be able to block that ball.
Shields at third base. Chu is at second. Well, was doubled his last time up. It's a high strike, 1-1.
And what you're looking for, obviously, for Joe Girardi is a strikeout pitcher. And Canely's pitched 55 innings and struck out 84 batters. He's only walked 14. Pretty good numbers.
One and two to count. Well, you look at the hits leaders in the American League. There's Andrus at 171. For all that Jose Altuve is and has done this year, Andrus only a dozen hits behind him, and what, 5 ahead of Eric Hosmer, second most in the league.
And the guy that's really upped his game is Jonathan Scope. Man, what a year he's had.
This one to the right side, through for a base hit. The Shields is in. Here comes two. He'll score. And the Rangers lit it for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Elvis is too good a hitter to pitch him that way. Cayley threw every pitch 98 miles an hour. Elvis took one for strike one. He swung at one and missed for strike two. And Cayley tried to overpower him with another fastball, but Elvis is too good a hitter right now. He's just making contact, trying to go back through the middle, took an entirely two-strike approach. Wasn't trying to drive the ball in the gaps. He's just trying to make some contact. As he's been doing all year in big situations, he's making solid contact. Great at bat, down to a guy throwing 98 miles an hour with 2 strikes and turned it into 2 runs.
5th straight hit in the inning. Still nobody out, and here is Nomar Mazara. 7-5 Rangers. Mazara homered in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 3rd, 1 for 2. Hit the Yankees 9-8. So Canley was acquired by the Yankees in the Todd Frazier deal. He came along with Todd Frazier and David Robertson from the White Sox. That was in late July, July 18th. They sent Tyler Clippard, Ian Clarkin, Blake Rutherford, Tito Polo over to the White Sox. And much ado about Frazier and of course David Robertson, but Canley a big addition in that bullpen. 2-0 and a bouncer at first base. Nice snare down there for 1. Back to first in time, double play.
Yeah, Rangers had 5 straight hits, and Nomar hit that ball solidly, trying to make it 6 straight hits. Unfortunately, hit it right at Headley. Trying to run that 98-mile-an-hour fastball and hit it hard. Turned it into a simple double play, but almost the 6th straight hit for the Rangers.
So the bases are empty now. It's been a 4-run inning, and here is Carlos Gomez. By the way, you can close the book on Tanaka tonight. 7 runs on 8 hits in his 4 innings. No walks, 7 strikeouts. Big swing and a miss by Gomez.
Yeah, at times tonight, Tanaka was dominating. 1st inning and the 4th inning for sure. 1, 2, 3 innings with 2 strikeouts in each inning. 1st inning, 2 strikeouts and a ground ball. But in between, the Rangers got to him. Got a lot of good at bats.
Now Andrews has driven in 3 runs, has a couple of hits today. Gives you the right to do the talking down there on the bench. Not that he needs anybody's permission. Doesn't always need anybody to listen to him. This one hit well out to right center field, and it drops down. That's a base hit for Gomez. He's going to take an aggressive turn, but hustle it back. 2 out single by Gomez. Rangers in double digits in hits.
Looked like a slider that had a little bit of movement, kind of like a cut fastball maybe. But Gomez stayed right with it. Drove it in the gap. Joe Girardi's got a move in mind.
Well, he signals for the left-hander with Joey Gallo coming up. So Canley is done. Face 3 hitters, got 2 outs. New pitcher coming on for the Yankees when we return. lead. Rangers still batting here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hey, Rangers fans, Adrian and Sandra Beltre invite you to uncork for a cause on September 10th at the Rosewood Mansion out on Turtle Creek. It's all to support Hurricane Harvey relief efforts through the Rangers Baseball Foundation. Now, it will also feature the debut of Adrian's 3,000 hit, the 2014 Sonoma Red Wine, as well as a limited amount of tickets available to join Adrian and some of his friends and teammates for this special night. Go to Uncork for a Cause for tickets. Admission includes food and a complimentary bottle of wine. All right, Chasen Shreve, the new left-hander.
Yeah, Shreve has done a nice job for the Yankees. Pitched 38 innings, struck out 49 batters. Opponents are only hitting .216 against him. Good strikeout to walk ratio.
This guy gets swings and misses. First pitch to Gallo, and there is a swing and a miss. Chasen Shreve, his 3rd go-around with the Yankees this year. He's also pitched a little bit down at the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Club. Gallo 0 for 2. Now in a whole 0-2.
I've watched him pitch a couple of times, and he throws that pitch, that changeup. Not exactly sure how he grips it, but that changeup, he throws that a lot, and he has a lot of success with it.
Gomez the runner at first, 2 out here. Rangers with 6 hits in the inning and 4 runs scored.
That changeup holds it with a split finger grip. And there it is again. There's the grip. You can see the fingers split apart. And that grip, you throw it as hard as you throw your fastball, and the grip doesn't allow it to go that fast. And it turns into a changeup with a split finger grip. Some guys throw a changeup with their last 3 fingers, call it a circle change. The first 2 fingers, first finger and your thumb form a circle.
Well, that pitch worked for Shreve. He gets a strikeout of Gallo to end the inning, but the Rangers pick up 4 runs and take the lead. Seven to 5 Rangers as we go to the 6th inning. Here's our cricket, something to smile about. Yeah, that doesn't put a smile on your face. What does? Here it is, the night tonight. Adrian Beltre recognized for his 3,000th hit. Eric Nadel emceeing. Elvis making a dramatic entry. That was fun. And a special night for Adrian. great to see Adrian down there, his whole family down there, and including his son AJ, who's celebrating a birthday today.
I loved watching his kids down there. They had big smiles. They were clapping. They were so proud of their father.
We're underway here in the 6th inning. Jacoby Ellsbury takes one in the dirt. It's 1-1. Now there were a lot of neat parts of that presentation today, and your typical presentation on the scoreboard where a lot of the greats congratulate Adrian. Those are always fun, and George Brett had a great one. But then how about the letter, the handwritten letter from Willie Mays?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Sure was. Not many people have one of those, I wouldn't think. Love seeing Martin back out for the 6th inning. Same thing the last game. He had 94, 5, 6 pitches in the 5th inning last game. Came back out, got through the 6th inning. Banny felt more confident in him than he did the bullpen. He threw 117 pitches in that game, 108 pitches the game before that. Here he is in the 5th inning with 90+ pitches. Back out for the 6th inning and gets a strikeout. You got 2 left-hand hitters coming up out of the first 3. And I would say Martin has been the one pitcher this year that has gone back out, and 3 times in a row gone well over 100 pitches with 117 pitches last time, and here he is back out there again. He's right at 100 pitches now.
Yeah, strikeout with his 100th of the night. 4 strikeouts for Perez, and now Todd Frazier takes one outside for a ball.
You know, Martin has worked himself into this position. If you go back a ways, he would have been the kind of pitcher that Jeff Bannister might have said, okay, I got 5, I got 6, I got 7, whatever it was. I'm not going to press it. We're going to cut it off right here. It's a good start, and we're going to let him build on that. Now he's reached the point in his season where Jeff Bannister says, he's one of my guys. I got to stick with him right now because I like the way he's throwing the ball.
Gomez tracks that one down just in front of the warning track, and a big smile on his face. 2 away.
That's a beautiful play. It's the hardest ball for a center fielder, is the ball hit on a line, and that was hit on a line directly over your head. Carlos turns, goes straight back on it on the dead run, and makes it look easy, and that's a textbook look at how you make that play on the line drive hit right over your head. Martin likes it, and Carlos had a smile on his face. I think you've really arrived as a pitcher in the eyes of your manager when you've reached that point in the game where you've thrown 95 to 100 pitches and he sends you back out for the next inning, at least in today's game. So many times you get to that point and you're out of there.
Well, he hits.
That might be a difference now, though.
Yep. Skipper up on that top step. Clark Gardner with Aaron Judge coming up.
He had the 2 left-handers. He had Ellsbury, who he struck out. He got Frazier, and then Gardner, who was 0 for 3 and a strikeout against him, but Martin hit him. Now with Judge up there, it's a little different story. Knapp comes over and gives him a pat on the back. And I think his teammates appreciate the kind of pitcher he's becoming right now.
And so do these fans. New pitcher coming on. Brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. Well, good night from Martin Perez. All things considered, just 2 earned runs in his 5 2/3 innings pitched. Walking 4 strikeouts, but he does leave responsible for Brett Gardner out at first base, and Ricky Rodriguez, a rookie, coming on here to face Aaron Judge.
Yeah, it's amazing the transformation in the bullpen. Where Ricky Rodriguez started the season in A-ball is now one of the guys that Jeff Bannister goes to in the middle innings as a setup guy. That's a nice start with that little hard slider.
Aaron Judge had that double in the 4th inning. He's also flying out, struck out. Good fastball on the corner. Same spot as the breaking
Same step, same spot. Can't see the pitch ahead of it.
That's why he's out there right now. He throws strikes. And it has been a really simple process for Jeff Bannister. You throw strikes, you'll get an opportunity. 1 and 2 the count.
Yeah, it's hard to win late in the game, in a close game, if you come in and walk the first 2 hitters of an inning. And I think Jeff Bannister saw enough of that to where you're right, Dave. He's going to go with the guys that can throw strikes. At least you've got a chance. If you walk them, you don't have a chance. Come in and throw strikes with good stuff. You might get hit. At least you've got a chance.
1-2. Judge not chasing that. You mentioned it earlier. Aaron Judge, the first half of the season, hit .329 with 30 home runs. The second half of the year, he's hitting .185 with 9 home runs. Drastic turnaround for him. Still a guy you respect immensely. The 2-2. Strike 3 called, and Rodriguez comes in and gets his man. Well, the rookie called in a big spot. Can he preserve the 2-run lead? Well, a strikeout of the league's leading home run hitter takes us to the bottom of the 6th. Sonic Slamming, brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Our jackpot tonight is $400 plus dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Jim Sherwin from Houston is our contestant. Rangers hoping to hit him a home run, win him $400, maybe even make it a grand slam. In which case, Jim will get an additional $25,000. Good luck, Jim. We're rooting for you. Bottom of the 6th here, Mike Napoli to start things off. Napoli, you see what's going on tonight for him. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Average down to 195. Facing a left-hander, though, and chasing Shreve. Masahiro Tanaka had the start, could only go 4 innings. Tommy Kahnle came on for him. Kahnle recorded 2 outs, but allowed a couple of hits. And that's when Shreve had to come on to finish off the 5th inning. 1-1 is tight. The Yankees bolted out to the early lead, but the Rangers have come back strong. Lead by 2. Saw updates earlier, but Cleveland did end up beating Baltimore 5-0, the final score there. This ball hammered down the third baseline, foul. So the Indians, with that win earlier today, means that they have won 16 in a row. Just unbelievable. 85-56 now for the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, the Indians were just kind of going win one, lose one for a lot of the early part of the season. And you knew they were better than that. They got the best pitching by far in the American League. It was just a matter of time before they put it together, and they definitely did.
Little roller, third base side. Frazier with the long throw, and it's in time. Well, how about this? Last 5 teams since 1991 with the win streak as long as 15. The A's with that historic 20-game winning streak in 2002. It's the only one longer than what the Indians have turned in. That was a good Twins team, by the way, in 1991. Ended up winning a big trophy. The other thing that win did today was it was against the Orioles. The Orioles had a half-game lead in the wild card standings over the Rangers, so at the moment now tied pending the outcome of this ball game. Rangers could leapfrog Baltimore with a win. Didn't miss by much. 1-1 to Rougned Odor. Odor started the big 4-run rally in the 5th inning. It was a base hit to right field. One and 2. There's still a long way to go in this one. Not tonight, but in this season. At the same time, it feels short, right? If you're a team chasing a couple of other teams, you feel like you're running out of games, and yet at the same time, we're still better than 3 weeks to go in the regular season. Every game seems so meaningful when you're in the Rangers spot. And a strikeout of Odor. 2 away here in the 6th inning. Tomorrow will be the middle game in this series with the Yankees, and our AT&T matchup features Luis Severino going for his 13th win for the Yankees against maybe the hottest pitcher for the Rangers, Andrew Cashner, who is 9-9 coming in. I say maybe because Martin Perez would be the other guy in consideration. And 2 gone here, and here is Chirinos.
This guy's got a deceptive split finger pitch. Boy, he throws it a lot, but he's got the kind of delivery, turns his back slightly to the hitter. It's probably hard to pick up. And his deceptive motion with it, the fact that he makes it look like a fastball with his arm speed, has turned it into a tough pitch. And he's got a pretty good fastball. His fastball's not 84, 85, it's 92 or 93.
Chasen Shreve. He goes 2-1. He's been up and down a few times this year with the Yankees. This is his 40th appearance out of the bullpen. And they've been pretty open-minded about where they will use guys out of their pen. 3-1 the count. I don't know if it's born out of desperation or maybe it's a movement we're starting to see creep throughout baseball, where managers are less and less married, it seems to me, to specific roles for their bullpen arms. Outside of maybe a closer, there are fewer and fewer teams who have a dedicated closer though these days. There's ball 4. Chirinos draws the 2-out walk, and he's been on all 3 times tonight.
Yeah, you've got hitters just wailing away at that splitter, down and out of the strike zone. Not Robinson. He looked at it like he knew it was coming. You got to be careful when you say they knew it was coming when you're talking about the Yankees, right? Yankees realized the Red Sox were taking some pitches like that, like they knew it was coming, because they did know it was coming. Yeah, electronically figured out stealing their signs. Be interesting to see how baseball deals with that.
Delano takes ball 1. The first thing I heard from Rob Manfred the other day on this one, I didn't love it, because he said that, you know, there should be a, you know, it's an infraction, we should do something about it, but I'm inclined maybe not to do anything because it didn't seem to be real meaningful, didn't affect the outcome of the game. And I'm thinking, well, that's what rules are for, right? Whether they end up impacting the game or not, that's why you have the rule. It has to be enforced.
The way I look at it, if you can't come up with a set of signs that the other team can't figure out, even if they're filming it, then that's your fault. You ought to go into every game thinking someone's going to be filming my signs, whether I'm giving them at third base, in the dugout, or behind the plate. I'm going to pretend someone's filming them, and I'm going to make them complicated enough and change them enough so they still can't figure it out. Especially the signs from the catcher to the pitcher. You've got to figure those out, relay them to a person who then relays them to another person who relays them back to the hitter. That takes some time. If you just change them every inning, they can't do that anyway. So I'm kind of on the side of Dustin Pedroia, who said, hey, look, people have been stealing signs for years. So just deal with it. Of course, I don't think the Giants felt that way when the Dodgers were doing it to them.
Ball down the right field line, and that one tracked down by Starlin Castro. The inning is over. Rangers leave a man. We'll go to the 7th inning tonight. Rangers leading at 7-5. Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more. Beautiful Friday night tonight here at Globe Life Park. And a great crowd for the opening game of this weekend series against the Yankees. By the way, tomorrow an earlier start. Just a little programming reminder. We'll be on Fox National tomorrow, and the game a noon start. All right, 7th inning, and the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for the Yankees.
Dave, we're talking about stealing signs. I need to correct the way I phrased something. I said the Giants would have been upset. It was the Dodgers that would have been upset. There was the claim that Bobby Thompson, when he hit that famous home run against the Dodgers, knew what was coming. Playing in the Polo Grounds, they had a way of relaying the signs. I don't know if that's true or not, but Ralph Branca, who gave up the home run, and Bobby Thompson became good friends at the end. Although Ralph, I think, resented that for many years. They actually ended up going around speaking together and signing autographs together, commemorating that. So that has gone on forever in baseball. Dustin Pedroia is right. People have been stealing signs forever. And there's a lot of elaborate different ways of doing it.
But that was the year that the Giants overcame like a 13.5 game deficit in the last month and a half of the season.
One of the greatest home run calls ever. Russ Hodges. The Giants win the pennant.
Ball smashed to third, caught. Gallo right there, one away in the 7th inning.
And you know, through the years, we take a look at this replay. A well hit ball by Sanchez, but it's right to Joey Gallo. You know, over the years, going way back to when baseball was invented, there's always been players or coaches that have a knack for being able to look at a guy give signs and figure out what they are, decode the signs, if you will. I could look at a guy do it forever and never be able to figure it out. But there's Joe Nosek was like that. Joe was a coach with the White Sox forever, and he had the reputation of being able to watch people give signs and figure out what they were. And if you can do that, more power to you. Now, if a guy gets at second base and he looks in, he can see the catcher give his signs. There's no one on second base, so he's only given one sign. Generally, one is a fastball, and there's the fastball. If there's a man on second base, he'll give 4 or 5 different signs. It might be the third one. It might be the second one. The first finger might be the one that tells you which one it is. In other words, you put down 2. It might be the second one after that. But if there's a guy at second base and he looks in long enough and sees a number of pitches, eventually he can figure out what your signs are and then figure out a way to relay it to the hitter. That's been going on forever. The one that's really frowned on, that you can get in trouble for, is if you're the hitter and there's no one at second base and you kind of, there's a good slider for strike 3, and you glance down into the catcher and see what the sign is that he's giving to the pitcher. That one will generally get you one in the ribs. And a lot of times, as I look at Ricky's slider, a lot of times you'll see the catcher, as he's giving a sign, looking up at the hitter just to make sure he's not looking back. I can't remember seeing a guy do that, but I'm sure it's happened before. I don't think it happens much anymore.
But they would be looking for location.
They might be looking for location, yeah. Good point. And that's why a catcher, when he gives his sign, he doesn't shift to one side of the plate until very late, just so the hitter can't, with his peripheral vision, glance and see where you're looking for the ball to be.
Yeah, earlier Chirinos, we just saw Chirinos looking up as he was giving the signs, and of course he guards it too with his glove. But we saw him earlier slap the inside, you know, the dirt behind home plate near the inside by the hitter's feet, and then move to the outside. You know, sometimes they do that to try and confuse the hitter as well, as this one fouled away. Right, so you make them think you're coming in, you slide to the outside, all sorts of gamesmanship. And a lot of hitters, Tom, I've heard a lot of hitters say, like, I didn't want to know. You know,
I wouldn't want to know either, because I wouldn't trust the guy giving it to me. All you got to do is be wrong one time, and he calls a slider, and you lean out over the plate to hit a slider, and he throws a fastball up and in and hits you right in the head. So I never would have trusted anybody.
Two and two to Matt Holliday. Well, there's not a team in baseball, I'm pretty sure, that doesn't have somebody looking somewhere trying to pick out something.
That's, to me, that's part of the game. That's the gamesmanship. And if your signs can be stolen, that's your fault.
It seems what most people are upset about is the use of technology to convey that information.
Yeah.
Ricky Rodriguez has come on and provided some huge relief here. 2 strikeouts already, and his 3-2 popped up and out of play. Holliday had the base hit in the 2nd inning and scored a run. He's also bounced into a double play tonight. Veteran DH for the Yankees. 2 outs, nobody on. He fights off yet another. Making Rodriguez work. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Bouncer third base. Gallo right there. And it's a 1-2-3 for Ricky Rodriguez. Rangers with a 2-run lead. They'll stand and stretch. Enjoy God Bless America. We give you Chuck Morgan.
fifth inning when the Rangers turned a 5-3 deficit into a 7-5 lead. Rougned Odor with a single. Robinson Chirinos doubled him in. Delino a single to left. A wild pitch scores Robinson. A long fly ball turns into a double, second and third. And then the big hit in a 5-5 game. Elvis with 2 strikes. Guarding the plate. Takes a 98-mile-an-hour fastball past Starlin Castro into right field. And that gave the Rangers a 7-5 lead.
All right, a 4-game summary. Elvis, another big night. 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. 51st time this year he's had a multi-hit game. And Nomar Mazara with an absolute bomb. That was in the second inning. 450 feet into the right field upper deck. Now the bottom of the 7th. Shin-Soo Choo takes strike 1 from Caleb Smith, our new pitcher.
Only the 8th game for Caleb Smith. Getting his feet wet. 6.11 ERA doesn't mean much when you've only pitched that infrequently.
One and 1 to Choo had that big double in the 5th inning. Looks ahead now 2-1. Smith, the 3rd relief pitcher tonight behind Masahiro Tanaka. Tanaka did not have a good night. 4 innings pitched. This one lined into left field. And Choo with his 2nd hit of the night. Good start to the 7th.
Yeah, and Choo coming into the game is hitting .330 in his last 20 games. He's got a couple of more hits tonight. And he's starting to get that inside out left field stroke working pretty well for him right now. Got a big double in that 4-run 5th inning. Now he's trying to start another rally here in the 7th.
He's on for Andrews, who, as we mentioned earlier, is having the big night at the plate. Of course, having the big season. Came in 8th in the league with a .304 average. 2nd in hits, 5th in runs, 5th in doubles. Career marks in just about every category. And it's 2-0. Elvis Andrews, among the things he's combining so many great elements of his game this year. 20 homers, 20 steals. It's Andrews, Jose Altuve, and Mike Trout. These guys are all pretty good.
Pretty impressive. The other thing Elvis has done is a little bit earlier in this season, you were looking at his career high for RBIs, which was 69. And you're saying, boy, he's having a good season. He's got a pretty good chance to have his career high in RBIs. Then you start to look at it and say, you know what, he's got a pretty good chance to knock in 80 runs. Now you look what Elvis has done. He's knocked in 83 runs, and you say, man, with a good September, he might knock in 100 runs this year.
2-1. This one gets away, and Choo will go to second base on the wild pitch.
Ball just bounced right over Sanchez, who wasn't able to block it. Well, he's got to obviously finish strong in September to even have a chance to do that. I guess you should look at 90 before you look at 100. But at the same time, the way Delino's getting on base right now and the way Choo's getting on base, he might have the opportunities. And if he stays hot as he's been, who knows? Maybe he can.
Well, a wild pitch might aid him a little bit.
Another one out there right now. He's had 3 already. He's knocked in 18 runs in his last 16 games.
Well, he'll take the walk just as well. Oh, 2 men on, nobody out. And for a little bit more on what Elvis has been doing, let's check in again with Emily.
Yeah, when Elvis hit that 2020 mark in Atlanta and was told, you know, the company that he's keeping, he was pretty impressed with himself. His eyes lit up, smile got real big, and I think the most impressive thing to me is that he hasn't been forcing anything. He's let everything come to him, and he's talked about that being the biggest difference, that he's got confidence at the plate, and he's being aggressive because he knows what pitches are his to hit, and he knows what he's capable of doing. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to execute it the way Elvis has for an entire season. So pretty impressive run by him.
Yeah, and I think what you just said, you know, we last couple of weeks have been mentioning that he's starting to become a lot like Michael Young, and that was one of Michael's greatest attributes, the fact that he didn't worry if he got 2 strikes. He let the game and the pitches come to him, and he was a great 2-strike hitter. And Elvis tonight gave an example of that. Tommy Kahnle's throwing 98 miles an hour. He jumped ahead of him with a swing and a miss with 2 strikes. And Elvis just went the other way, just like Michael used to do with 2 strikes. Hit a hard ground ball past Starlin Castro to give the Rangers a 2-run lead. That's one of the ways he's showing such improvement.
This ball hit hard out to right field. Looking up, and that one is over the head of Aaron Judge. Into third base is Chu. Andrews just about passed him on the bases. He stops at second. That ball drilled Elvis. Looking down at Chu like, hey, dude.
Well, no, there are very few guys in the league who have better instincts on the bases than Elvis. So Elvis sees the same ball that Chu sees. It just registers with Elvis a little bit quicker that ball is not going to be caught by Judge in right field. Elvis sees Judge, and as soon as Judge turns, Elvis takes off. Chu goes back, thinks it might be caught, he's going to tag up, but it doesn't register with Shin-Soo as quickly as it did with Elvis, and he's only able to get to third, which, you know, fine. You've got the bases loaded and nobody out. You should be in pretty good position to score some runs.
Not only that, but you've got it for new pitchers. The Yankees go deeper into their bullpen tonight.
Arlington Rangers looking to add to their 2-run lead here in the 7th inning. But first, our Chevy game break in Washington. Michael Taylor up with the bases loaded, shoots a line drive to center, and Adrubal Herrera completely misplays it. Taylor is off to the races. The 3 in front of him score. He's going for it, and he gets it. The inside the park grand slam. The final, as you see at the bottom of your screen there, 11-10 Nationals, guys.
Wow, that's a first. I haven't seen one of those. That is amazing. Ben Heller is on now for the Yankees. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the 7th inning, and Carlos Gomez at the plate.
And numbers for Heller, who just recently was called up to the big leagues, only been in 3 games. Heller signed with the Indians. He came over to the Yankees when the Yankees traded Andrew Miller to Cleveland. And he's pretty much been groomed as a reliever from day one. He had one start in his rookie minor league season. Other than that, he's been strictly used out of the bullpen. Sidearm slider, looked like a sidearm splitter right there that dropped.
Now Jared Hoying has come on to pinch run at first base, so he'll take over for Nomar Mazara in the late innings defensively as well. Chu at third, Andrews at second. Gomez swings and pops this one out into center field. And it's going to be handled by Ellsbury. Tagging at third, Chu. He'll come to the plate and score. And it is an 8-5 game on the sac fly by Carlos Gomez.
Carlos made contact, middle of the field, got it up in the air. No chance for Ellsbury, that deep out in center field.
Everybody else stays put. So Andrews still at second base. Hoying still at first. And now here's Joey Gallo. Gallo 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Rangers 8 runs on 12 hits. They've made 2 errors and left 3 men on base. Yankees 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. They've left 6. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Joey's seen a steady diet of off-speed pitches tonight. Mostly splitters, and most of them down. Very few fastballs to hit tonight, if any.
This one in the dirt. Andrews goes for third, and he is in there.
Frazier thinks he tagged him on the back. Hard to see. Looked like Elvis slid underneath it. I'm kind of with Mark Carlson on that one. But Frazier felt like he tagged him.
Oh, I think he missed him.
I thought he fanned on it to me, too.
Carlson had a great look at it in perfect position. Yankees examining that back in the clubhouse, and they decide, all right, I'll let it go.
Frazier can't believe it.
No, I don't.
Ooh, did he touch him? I don't know. The only reason I might think that he did was Frazier reacted like he did, but. You know, it's not like you can trick anybody. You got the cameras to go look at. But it wasn't going to get overturned based on that angle, I don't think.
A wild pitch has Andrews at third base. And this ball hit hard out to right field. That's a base hit. Andrews scores to second base Hoying. So Gallo drives home a run. And he makes it 9-5 Rangers.
Well, that ends up being a good at bat for Joey. He got behind in the count, swung at a couple of pitches out of the strike zone. Here comes a little slider. It's not a strike, but Joey gets enough of the bat on it to muscle it into right field with 2 strikes on him, make some contact. And when you do, good things can happen. He picks up an RBI. Ends up being a nice at bat for Joey.
73rd RBI of the season. Now Napoli 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And sends that one foul. One and one. Heller, part of that deal, the Andrew Miller deal, and Miller went to Cleveland. Heller came over with a bunch of players to the Yankees. Clint Frazier, Justice Sheffield, J.P. Frierson. It was a big haul for the Yankees, but they gave away a really good one in Andrew Miller, who proved to be such a critical piece for Cleveland last year, getting to Game 7 of the World Series. 1-1. It is strike 2 on Napoli. Rangers with a run in the second, 2 in the third. The big inning was the 4-run fifth, in which they had 6 hits and knocked Tanaka out of the game. Since then, a lot of relievers. They've added a couple more runs here in the 7th inning. Hoynes at second, Gallo at first. Heller's 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Third time tonight. Napoli has gone down on strikes.
The second baseman,
And it brings up Odor. Lately been a tough stretch for Odor. Dropped to 8th in the order tonight. 8 hits in his previous 61 at bats coming into tonight, but he does have a hit tonight. He'll take strike 1. And at first and second. And this one smashed by first. That's a base hit. It'll get Hoynes to the plate. Great speed behind him. Gallo will score from first, and that is a triple for Rougned Odor. 2 more runs. It's 11-5 Rangers.
Nice swing by Rudy. Have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball after a slider in on the fists. Rudy turns on it with a nice quick stroke and just rips it past Headley at first base, down the right field line, and ends up with a triple and a couple of runs batted in. Rudy's scored a run and driven in a couple in this game. Good at bat right there for Rudy. Good at bats all night long for the Rangers, period.
Now Chirinos, talking about guys who had some good at bats, 2 for 2 with a walk. Rangers with 6 extra base hits in this one tonight. One of the more impressive offensive displays we've seen. We've seen some high scoring games where they've hit a lot of home runs, but this has been unique in that they have mixed it up. They've done it in so many different ways.
Well, the Yankees got the big 4 runs in the second inning, 3 of them unearned runs because of an error. And after that, Martin Perez hung tough, pitched out of a jam or 2. Ricky Rodriguez came in and struck out Aaron Judge in a key situation. Pitched another good inning. And the hitters have just been pounding away all night long. Those go-ahead tack-on runs, if you will. Big 4-run 5th, big 4-run 7th.
Not much Girardi can do looking on. Larry Rothschild is pitching coach. We'll visit out there for Heller. How about this? 35 of the last 62 Rangers hits have gone for extra bases. They've been finding some openings in that defense. Door 90 feet away for Chirinos. The count 3-0. That's ball 4. And well, it wasn't even close. Well, Chirinos walks for the second time.
19 walks in 25 games for Robinson. He's got his on-base percentage well over 370 now.
Left fielder, Delino, the
He's
shield.
right now. Let's see. He's got to have the highest on-base percentage on the team. He moved ahead of Chu.
And that's going to do it for Allard, because now Girardi out to the mound, and so deeper into the pen we go.
In September, they are deep pens.
Only halfway through it. 11-5 Rangers. Seven to 5 our score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, the next Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Night is this Wednesday. The Rangers and the Mariners in a very important divisional matchup coming out to Globe Life Park. Enjoy ballpark hot dogs for just $1 each. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. That's been a great scene all night tonight. Wonderful Friday evening out at Globe Life Park. It helps when the home team's winning by half a dozen. Brian Mitchell, the new pitcher, right-hander for the Yankees.
17th game for Brian Mitchell. Seeing a side of the Yankee bullpen that you probably won't see if the Yankees are slightly ahead in the game or if it's a little closer game, but it's a good opportunity for the kids to get into a ball game. Mitchell pitched 27 innings. Giving up 31 hits. A little high ERA. To establish himself as a big leaguer.
Third Yankee pitcher of the inning. 6th pitcher of the night for New York. Shields bounces one left side. Frazier will go the short way to second, and it ends the inning. Rangers bat around, pick up 4 more runs, and we go to the 8th inning. Rangers up by 6. Well, this one favoring the Rangers, 11-5 our score. Top of the 8th inning. Beltray weekend here at Globe Life Park. Fans can still get a commemorative Beltray 3K hat using the special theme night link at TexasRangers.com/Beltray3K. Get your tickets for tomorrow's matchup at 12:05 first pitch.
Here's our Ford pitch arsenal for Jake Diekman. Fastball, slider. That's what you're going to see. You're going to get a mid-90s fastball or a mid-80s slider.
All right, so Diekman on here in the 8th inning. Loing stays in the game in right field as expected. 6-run lead. Now Didi Gregorius, then Chase Headley, and Jacob Ellsbury, or Jacoby Ellsbury rather, due up here in the 8th inning. Good fastball, 93 miles per hour from Diekman. So much going on this time of year, and games as meaningful as they are and all. I mean, it's great to have Diekman back. There's no question. Makes a big difference in that bullpen, but Tom, it's hard to fathom that he's back and this effective given everything he has put his body through this year.
Yeah, it's credit to the perseverance and the work that he's put in, the courage that he has. Has not been easy.
Gregorius hurts himself with that foul ball off his leg or foot.
It's just nice to have another veteran, proven guy out in the bullpen right now with all the injuries that the Rangers have. And with the youth and inexperience they have in the bullpen, they have another lefty. Boy, that hit above the padding on the side of his leg. Another veteran lefty out there to go with Alex Claudio. It's nice to have. Not the padding. Pretty high up on his leg. It looked like that one might have hit even above the padding.
No, he's all right. Martin's back in there. Did you ever get into one of those stretches where, for whatever reason, the swing mechanics were working in such a way you were constantly fouling one off a certain part of your body?
No, very seldom did that happen. Occasionally it did, but never to the point where I felt like I needed that kind of a pad. Occasionally, but not that often. If the pitch was down low and sinking, rather than follow it off, I usually just swung and missed at it. That way I didn't have to worry about it. And let's face it, if it's going to be a strike anyway, you might as well swing and miss at it, get hit in the leg by it.
2-2 to Didi Gregorius. Now listen, that makes plenty of sense to me.
I thought so. I thought I was a smart hitter.
Yeah.
Now, if you have 2 strikes, it's a little bit different, I guess.
This one looped over to the left side, out of play. We'll reset. Jake Diekman, 3 surgeries this year.
That's just amazing.
You know, on the midsection, on the internal organs in there to try and correct his ulcerative colitis condition, which is just terribly uncomfortable, and he's been living with it all his life. It's affected his ability to eat certain foods. And bouncer up the middle, backhand stop Odor, and across his body to first to get Gregorius. Nicely done, one away.
Very nicely done. Showed the range and showed the arm strength. And on the run like that, moving toward left field, the accuracy to go along with it.
A nice defensive play by Odor. 1 out here in the 8th inning. And here's Chase Headley, who has 1 hit today, fouls this one off. Yankees came out swinging, scored 4 runs in the second inning, added a run in the third, and thought, uh-oh. Bouncer left side. Gallo charges. Easy throw to first, 2 away.
A couple of weakly hit ground balls right there. 8 pitches, 6 strikes.
Center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury.
All right, and here is Ellsbury. Also 1 for 3. Martin Perez had the start today, went 5 2/3. Ricky Rodriguez, an inning and a third scoreless, got a couple of strikeouts. Really good job by Rodriguez. And now Diekman. So the bullpen has come on and retired 6 in a row so far. That's after Martin Perez, who got in a little trouble there in the second, third innings, really settled in. Martin retired 6 of the last 7 he faced.
Boy, there's a good sinker. Right down at the bottom of the strike zone. Ellsbury, after his base hit and RBI, struck out a couple of times. And that's a
Strike 3 ball. 1, 2, 3 for Diekman. It's 11-5 Rangers. This ball belted high in the air, deep out to right, and it is gone.
And that was your AT&T high-speed replay. Excellent night for the Rangers. 7 different Ranger batters have driven in at least 1 run. Elvis had a 2-run single. Ruby had a 2-run triple. And it adds up to a nice 11-5 game for the Rangers so far.
Chu starts off the 8th inning with a bouncer to the left side of the infield, and Todd Frazier takes care of him on 1 pitch. Ronald Torreyes has come on to play shortstop for New York. So they begin to make some moves here in the late innings. Keep guys off their feet. One gone for Elvis Andrus. Another very productive night for Elvis. Walked his last time up. Add to his 2 hits. He has scored once, driven in 3. Continues to be the anchor in the heart of this order. One and 2. So Mitchell on in relief for the Yankees. Got the final out of the 7th inning, and he's out here again in the 8th. Girardi trying to preserve what arms he has left in that pin. Little tapper over the mound. Torreya's got to it, but knocked it down, and it trickles into center field. Andrus going for 2, and he's in there. There's no let up.
Pretty nice way to get your 40th double, Dave. Hit a ground ball to shortstop. Elvis, 2 doubles, a single, and a walk. Yeah, pretty good pitch right there by Mitchell. Breaking ball down. Reyes knocks it down into center field, and Elvis just keeps right on going. That's what happens when you hustle, and you've got the instincts to realize that it's going to be an easy double.
Jared Hoying's first at bat of the night. Came in as a pinch runner, has played an inning defensively, and takes strike 1 here from Mitchell. Bouncer right side. Handled over there by Castro. 2 away. Andrews moves to third base. Elvis Andrus, 40 doubles, 20 home runs, 20 steals. Palmeiro and Soriano, the only others to do that in Rangers history.
Boy, I didn't remember that Raffy had stolen 20 bases.
He still might get to 30 steals this year. Last Rangers with 40 doubles in a season. They did it in 2012. It's been a while since we've seen a Ranger post 40 doubles, but Nelly Cruz 45 in 2012. Kinsler had 42. It's 2-0 to Gomez. Time did he go? Yeah, apparently he did. Tim Timmons down at first. Tony Barnett getting ready in the bullpen. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning in a 6-run game. Infield back. Andrus at third, 2 away, and that is off the plate. Another way to look at the Elvis Andrus accomplishment: 40 doubles. Go along with his better than 20 steals this year. The only other Rangers shortstop to combine those 2, Michael Young, who did it in 2005. Full count now on Gomez. Well, it's been a big offensive night tonight for the Rangers. 11 runs on 15 hits. They have not been wasteful. They've only stranded 5 runners so far, so taking great advantage of just about every runner that they have had. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Gomez down swinging. That ends the 8th inning. The 40th double of the year, though, for Elvis Andrus. We go to the 9th. Rangers by 6.
Congratulations.
this game. They have since turned it around, turned it on, and not looked back as they look to finish off the Yankees here with just 3 outs. Dana Larson, Mark McLemore here with you. We'll have Rangers Live presented by Frontier Communications coming up right after the game. Mac, there's a lot to talk about. What are we going to lead with tonight?
There's a lot to talk about. We're going to lead with how the Rangers came back from that 4-0 deficit and how Martin Perez settled down and hopefully will get this win.
We've got pitching. We got tons of offense to cover, no doubt about it. We'll hear from Jeff Bannister, key players in the clubhouse, set up tomorrow's game as well. So we hope you'll stay with us and join us right after the game. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Dana. And good reminder by Mac there. I mean, with everything that's been going on, you almost forget that Martin Perez is in line to pick up his 7th consecutive win.
Yep. You know, Dave, there's been a couple of times tonight, the kind of time he gave up 5 runs in the inning, where they were the kind of games in the past he probably wouldn't have been able to regain his composure, pitch 100 pitches, and be in position to win those games. But the last 7 starts, he's been much different, and starting to see that composure, starting to see the ability to pitch out of jams, not get rattled when something goes against him, and he's put himself in position to win 7 straight starts. Well, he's done the work and he's earned it.
Tony Barnett has come on here in the 9th inning. He goes 1 and 2 to Frazier.
Here's the Ford pitch arsenal for Tony. Throws a cutter, cut fastball, a regular fastball, curveball, and a splitter every now and then. Mostly he likes to throw the cutter. That's a fastball that cuts and not quite as fast as his other fastball. That one's pretty fast, 88 miles an hour for strike 3.
So he dispatches of Frazier to start the 9th inning. And now just 2 outs away from taking the first game of this series. Brett Gardner coming to the plate. Bullpen has retired 8 in a row. And there's a strike to Gardner. Gardner hit by a pitch when he came up with the 6th inning. That was the last man that Martin Perez faced, and a breaking ball in there. It's strike 2. Rangers trying to get back to 2 games over 500. The 0-2 pitch. He wouldn't chase it. Jeff Bannister got his team to 70 and 68 with a win in game 1 of our doubleheader on Wednesday. 1-2. Bouncer foul. But they dropped the nightcap of that doubleheader. Go to 70 and 69. If they can get a win here, well, you start thinking about what that looks like in the wild card standings, and the Rangers continuing to chip away at teams in front of them. Baltimore already lost today, so they would move a half game ahead of the Orioles. They would stay 2.5 back of the Twins, but the only team between the Rangers and the Twins for that final wild card would be the Angels. And once this homestand is over, that's where the Rangers are headed. Is out to Anaheim. So they will have a chance. 1-2. Been in. Barnett, who did a great job in Japan as a closer prior to signing with the Rangers. Just misses that outside corner, and it is 3-2. And Barnett has figured into some later inning spots lately. Garner today has been on base once, that time when he was hit by a pitch, but that is all he has to show for it. That and about, I don't know, 15 or 20 foul balls tonight. He's battled up there. It hasn't always worked out for him, but he has spoiled a lot of pitches. He swings and misses strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts in the 9th inning for Barnett.
Well, the bullpen has been pretty good. They've come in and retired 9 straight batters.
Right fielder Aaron Judge.
There was a two-seam fastball. Look at the tailing action on that. Gardner could just wave at it. Well, Ricky Rodriguez did a nice job in a close ball game. 4 up, 4 down with a couple of strikeouts. Jake Diekman, 1, 2, 3. Tony Barnett, first 2 have struck out against him.
Now Aaron Judge, last chance for the Yankees. Doubled earlier tonight. And it's 1-1. Rangers have gone 43 and 37 since June 9th. A long stretch now for which they've played 6, maybe 7 games over 500 if they can win this one. They've won 3 straight series, trying to take the opener against the Yankees tonight. The 2-1 pitch. This ball hit well down the left field line. Good foul. Strike 2. So Barnett and the Rangers 1 strike away. Almost 36,000 here tonight. And the vast majority of them up on their feet. Trying to help Barnett here through this at bat with Aaron Judge. Judge was the story in the American League, heck, in all of baseball for the first half of the season. It's been a very different story in the second half, though, for him. Barnett trying to keep it that way. 2-2. Here it comes. Got him swinging. And this one is over. The Rangers take the first from the Yankees, and they're back to 2 games over 500. Just one team now stands between the Rangers and the Twins for that final wild card spot. Continue to play good baseball, Tom.
Yeah, it was a good battle tonight for Martin Perez. Had a pitch out of some jams, 5 2/3. Only gave up 2 earned runs. Going to win his 7th straight start. And the bullpen, Rodriguez, Diekman, Barnett, 10 up, 10 down with 2, 4, 5 strikes, 6 strikeouts. So a dominating performance by the bullpen. A nice win for Martin Perez. And the offense all the way around. 7 different guys had at least 1 run batted in. And it was a nice 11-5 win in the first of 3 games against the New York Yankees.
What a start to this series. 11-5 the final score here tonight. Dana Larson and Mark McLemore back with plenty more player reactions and analysis to this one. We'll be back as well to talk about Robinson Chirinos and his continued good stretch. For Tom Grieve, Emily Jones, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. Rangers Live postgame show starts right after this.